What's your thoughts on government cover-ups or covert societies attempting to control humanity? Do you believe in ancient astronauts, intergalactic communication, or extraterrestrial visitations? Ever had an experience with disembodied spirits or the paranormal universe? Are these subjects fact or fiction? Each week, Tony and Eddie explore these unbelievable realities and beyond. Exclusively on Truth Be Told.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Truth Be Told with Tony and Eddie, where we believe in experience becomes truth. I'm your host, Tony Sweet, and with me now is world-renowned psychic Eddie Connor.
Hi, Tony. Hi, everybody. We have an amazing show for you lined up today, and we're going to give you 3 hints about who our famous first guest is. Number 1, he's a talented, handsome young man with a connection to the spirit world. Number 2, he has his own hit reality TV show. And number 3, his first book will be available to the public this November. Who could it be? Drum roll, please.
If you haven't figured it out, the Hollywood medium Tyler Henry is in the house talking about the 2nd season of his show, and he's got some exciting news, right, Eddie?
That's right, Tony. The Hollywood medium star is releasing his very first memoir titled Between Two Worlds, Lessons from the Other Side, and it's all about his journey as a medium thus far. So, ladies and gentlemen, please open your heart, your mind, and your souls, and welcome famed clairvoyant, medical intuitive, medium, and new author, Tyler Henry.
Woohoo! Oh my gosh.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I hope you liked our drum roll.
I love it. That was fabulous. Quite the intro. I love the handsome part.
Oh, thank you, Tyler.
Well, we are excited, and definitely because of the short period of time we have with you today, we want to get right to it because there's a lot to ask you. Such a young man and such a talented, gifted psychic. We're excited to have you here. I want to start real quick.
You.
Is one time, I've been around Eddie, who's been an intuitive for all his life.
I'm a dinosaur, Tyler.
Yeah,
right?
Compared to you, Tyler. But I saw that you did a reading for Snooki, and you broke down the last time you did a reading for her. And I wanted to know, being around a psychic, I've never seen a psychic get emotional before. Mm-hmm. So what is it? What is it about the spirit that comes through that makes you emotional? That where you can't keep your composure. What is that?
Sure. Well, I always say that my sixth sense, in my particular case, kind of works through the other 5 senses. In a lot of cases, as well as oftentimes kind of tapping into my emotional sense as well. And every medium works a little differently, but in my case, I find that oftentimes that's how I pick up on information. And though I never know who I'm reading or where I'm going, I oftentimes will find that the individual that's coming through knows that the reading is scheduled and therefore will kind of connect to me even before I meet the client. So in the way that happens, oftentimes I find that it's very useful to be able to pick up on intuitive impressions before I even know who I'm reading. And when I meet the person, I just present what was coming through intuitively, and ultimately it ends up making sense and connecting. And that's really a way to get information in a non-biased way. And just present it exactly as it comes through. And in season 2, you'll actually find when I did do the Snooki follow-up, as I'm going in a cab to the actual location, I'm just really overwhelmed because I was picking up on this young woman's passing, and unfortunately it came through in an emotional sense. And that kind of helped deliver a message about ultimately what her mindset was before she passed. And once I delivered that and relayed that, it went away, but it was very overwhelming.
That's amazing.
I love that. I'm a firm believer that our energy always arrives to our destination before our body ever gets there. And so I love the way you
absolutely.
I love the way you just articulated that. So as you're tuning in on the way, of course, you're tuning into their energy. Their energy is anticipating your energy being the non-feeling frequencies around all human living and other living things too. Right. So we wanted to ask you some fun questions. First of all, where are you calling from exactly? Are you in LA or are you out on your tour?
Well, I'm actually in North Hollywood. I got a little
Oh,
time to come back.
nice,
I got back to New
nice.
York.
Yay, Hercules! So,
Yes, I'm so happy to be here.
yeah. So we have some fun questions for you. What makes you laugh so hard that you snort?
Oh my gosh. That is a good one. Okay, well, honestly, reruns of Jersey Shore. I know.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
my guilty pleasure. I can't help it, and it's like it was even before Snooki too. It just something about it is just hilarious and allows me to just completely relax when I'm watching it. So it's my guilty pleasure.
Love that. So when you're not filming the show and when you're not working hard like you Capricorns have a tendency to do, what is the typical day in the life of Tyler Henry?
Right. Well, for me, obviously work is a big part of my life now, but when I'm not working, I really try to focus on decompressing. And my life is kind of a bit of a mix of trying to be open to readings and, getting ready for them and then kind of coming down from them. And so I find that oftentimes, I enjoy kind of going out into nature. I really love like nature photography. And that's really been a great go out and be by myself and focus my attention on nature, which I think is really grounding and really important, especially as a person who does energy work, to be able to kind of have that groundedness and be in an environment that's going to allow for that. So I think it's a good thing for anyone to do.
So do you think you're an old soul?
I don't think so. I mean, in my case, I think people always ask me, like, Tyler, do you think you're wise? And I'm like, you know what? I've had a lot of people come through who have had a lot of wisdom. These individuals that have came through have had a whole lifetime worth of experience and a lifetime worth of wisdom. And oftentimes they'll come through and share little insights or details about that and as far as what they've learned in their learning process. But for me, I think that wisdom comes with experience. I think that, there definitely is a lot of knowledge that comes through in reading. But for me, I have my own lessons, I have my own challenges, my own hardships, my own things that I have to go through completely outside of readings. So I feel lucky enough to just be able to kind of be a conduit for these people coming through.
Wow, I love that. What's the funniest thing that has ever happened or most embarrassing? So what's the funniest or most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you during a reading?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so recently I read Larry Burkhead, and I didn't know who he was. And I thought that he was Keith Urban. And it was the most awkward thing in the entire world because I came so close to being like, all right, Keith, perform a song. I'm a massive fan. And then I was like, oh, that's not Keith Urban.
That's
It was a little
hilarious.
embarrassing, but it was interesting.
But we think that's the kind of sweetness and vulnerability and innocence that comes with what you do. It makes you even more powerful. And it's fun for us as viewers to watch you have these experiences. And so what does it feel like to be an A-lister?
Oh gosh, I'm more on like the solid C list, but thank you.
Well, in our
Maybe
world,
season
you're
like
an
8.
A-lister.
I'll make it to the B list.
Okay.
In our world, you're an A-lister.
Yeah. Don't tell comedian
so
Kathy
sweet.
Griffin because she'll be mad. She's been trying to get to the B list forever.
Oh geez, oh you're so sweet. Well, thank you. I really found that in doing this, obviously my life has changed in a massive way, but really fundamentally for me, readings have really been about the same thing. And not to be cliche, but I mean, really, honestly, like I started this process doing readings in a very small town for just everyday people. And I'm thankful to be able to share these readings because I feel like in reading celebrities, it doesn't just help the celebrity, but it helps their platforms with people who might not traditionally be exposed to this type of thing. And through, watching a person that they're a fan of, they're
Right.
able to be exposed to that. And,
Yeah.
and that for me is really gratifying and incredibly fulfilling. So that has been, I think, my favorite perk of the notability or, the increased viewership. But fundamentally, I really am just so lucky to be in my position, and I know it. And I'll never lose that.
Well, I know you don't like knowing who you're going to interview or read for, and I think that's important. So people don't say, "Oh, you looked me up," and all that. But
Right.
and sometimes when you see the face to face, you may be starstruck. But have you ever been starstruck by the people that come through you, or
It's a
even?
really, really good question. Yeah. Well, interestingly, yeah, season 1, I actually had that come through a little bit more than season 2 because in season 1, obviously Robin Williams came through for Margaret
Oh,
Cho,
wow.
and that was a really bizarre and intriguing situation for me because I knew who he was as he was coming through, which is actually not something that happens in every instance. I think a lot of mediums oftentimes will kind of say that it's not like the sixth sense. You don't necessarily see dead people walking around. But in my case, he came through very clearly in a dream and acknowledged, being there, and came through multiple times. In season 2, you'll see there's actually instances where I unknowingly connect to celebrities on the other side that come through for, the clients.
Right.
And in one case, I think it's Carolyn Bessette Kennedy coming through for Carol Radziwill. That was one of the most shocking moments for me, because I actually did not know that I was bringing through Carol, or Carolyn rather. So that was one of the strangest kind of moments when she told me after who I was connecting with. And that sometimes happens because I don't necessarily see a person's face when I'm doing a reading.
Wow, don't you love being you right now? Don't you love just being in that, seriously, in that like aligned place where you're going in and you're helping to expand the consciousness on the earth plane? Yes. And then you have these experiences. You have to just like sometimes like touch yourself and be like, hey, how you doing? No,
I sound like it. I definitely do a lot of pinching myself.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I meant pinch. Sorry.
Yeah. It is. I'm so thankful to be able to just be in my position, and I really view it as an opportunity and a series of lessons, and I think that that's important. And, obviously it revolves around celebrities as far as the show goes, but it's so much more than that. And for me, yes, I've always kind of tried to convey that in these readings, that it's about love. It's showing that love continues on forever, and it's showing that ultimately we are all human beings. We are all souls. We're all spiritual beings living a human experience. And I think that the show kind of allows to display that on a larger level. So I'm immensely thankful.
Wow. Well, one last question is, what music do you jam out to when nobody's looking?
Beyonce, I have to say.
You just
definitely
made
got some Beyonce going. Yes. Halo.
You made Eddie happy.
I love me some
Beyonce
gosh. And some anything that's got that sort of jam and that R&B and that mix and that high energy.
Yes.
Oh, we love you even more now, Tyler.
You know it. So, I can't dance, but I can try.
So your new season starts this month. It's season 2 of The Hollywood Medium with Tyler Henry. And give us a little sneak peek, just a couple of little words about what to expect this season.
Sure, absolutely. Well, what I will say is for season 2, there's a whole new group of celebrities ranging from Moby, Kris Jenner, Kevin McHale, Melissa Joan Hart, and Tori Spelling. So we get a whole wide mix. For me, my favorite parts of season 2 have really just been about the families and, the friends that are actually watching in the other room. That's a really interesting dynamic, and you can expect to see more of that. And then just overall, you'll kind of get to see the camera turned on me and kind of the way that these readings affect me on a personal level, which will really allow for, I think, kind of a multi-dimensional look at these readings. And I think that people will find it to be really interesting.
Love that. We love the extra dimension there. And before you leave us, we want to ask you very quickly about the Between Two Worlds. It's your new book. It's going to be released in November.
Can't wait.
People can pre-order now on Amazon.com, but in November, it'll be in the brick and mortar stores across the country. It's titled Between Two Worlds, and it's Lessons from the Other Side. Just give us a quick soundbite about the book, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Well, this new memoir basically takes the lessons and experiences I've had through doing readings and in communicating with people who've lived entire lives. They have a lot to teach us about the life we're living now. And that book really focuses on not only telling my story, but in doing so, telling the stories of the people I've read and the people that have came through. And in that way, you get a much larger look on a much bigger picture. And I really hope that it helps people and explains the behind the scenes.
Wow.
Well, thank you so much, Tyler. August 10th, the new season of Hollywood Medium
with Tyler Henry.
And don't forget to pick up the book this November. Tyler.
Can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a good rest of your day.
Take care, Tyler.
You too. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, Eddie, what do you think?
I think I'm so excited right now, as I know your audience is, because they've been asking for Tyler for a long time. And my favorite parts, these are just my little favorite parts, and Tony and I were talking sort of in between, is that Tyler loves his reruns from the Jersey Shore.
Which shocked me. Well, no, he's young, so I get it.
He's a young man, so that's his guilty pleasure. He likes to jam out to who? Beyonce.
Celine Dion. No, Beyonce, yes.
Beyonce and a little bit of J-Lo, so he likes the thump and dance kind of thing.
Even though he says he can't dance.
And don't you love that he loves nature? So he goes
I
back
love
out
it.
in nature and gets regrounded. And then he likes nature photography too.
Which again, you don't see that, and that's why I like interviews where you can kind of get to know them personally. Even though we only had 10 minutes, but it's nice to find those little things that they do behind the scenes that we don't get to see.
Yeah, and and he's just a normal kid.
Yeah,
He's
20 years old.
Yeah,
Come on.
he's a normal kid, hangs out, does his little magic, and I love that he decompresses. And it's fun whenever it's like, how does it feel to be an A-lister? He's like, well, no, not an A-lister. And I think Tony and I both very much responded to the fact that he loves sharing his gift. And I understand the aspect where he's lucky enough he's able to use it with the celebrities. And
Right.
a lot of people follow celebrities. So he's literally waking people up to the connection to the spirit world on the other side.
And Tyler is a young man that has a bright future, in not only in the alternative world of paranormal and psychic and medium, but I think he has a great future in just entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, people respond to him well because he seems so genuine, and
Yeah.
he, as you can see today, he does have that sensitive, down to earth kid.
Sweetness
Yeah,
and vulnerability. You have
So-
to be a little vulnerable to be in this line of work, to be honest with you.
true.
I mean, because we set ourselves up not intentionally. It's not what our heart sets us up to do. It's just sort of human nature. People like to come after you and say things that can't be real. That's not normal.
Right.
But guess what? Every single human on the planet has a different definition of normal. It's as unique and individual for them as a snowflake. See how sophisticated we are on this show, y'all?
That's right, babe.
That's right.
All right. Well, we are going to take a break, but before we do, I just want to let you know that if you tuned in just partially through this interview or just enjoyed the interview itself, you can listen to the interview on iHeartRadio as a podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, and then watch us this video on our YouTube channel, Truth Be Told with Tony and Eddie. We hope you subscribe. We leave us a comment. Tell us again. And I've had people responding. Tell us who you want to see on the show.
Yeah,
Go
that's
to-
how we were able to get a hold of Tyler.
Exactly. And we want you to go to truthbetoldwebtv.com. That'll show all our upcoming guests. At the end of every month, we have a psychic call-in show. So you guys want to call in and be a part of Eddie and his round table of could be boys, girls, of whatever.
It could be the Psychic Guy Squad. It could be the Psychic Girl Squad. It could be the Psychic Cafe.
Could be whatever. It's going to be good. It's always good. All right. So we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, we have another great guest for you. And so sit back, relax, and we'll be back soon.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Our listeners here at Truth Be Told just can't get enough of the Hollywood medium, Tyler Henry.
It's true. Listeners loved getting to know Tyler here on our show. And if you're like us, you want to learn more about how this special young man changed the world through his heartfelt gifts as a medium.
And now you can.
That's right. Tyler Henry is a new author. His book is titled Between Two Worlds, Lessons from the Other Side, and it's available for pre-orders right now at Amazon.com.
In November, his book will be available in all brick-and-mortar bookstores across the U.S.
That's right. And don't forget to catch Tyler's second season of The Hollywood Medium with Tyler Henry on the E! Network starting August 2016. And now, back to Truth Be Told with Tony and Eddie.